Not all Mediterranean cruise ports are the same. Some will leave you speechless, while others may have you wishing you'd stayed on the ship. We're ranking every major cruise port from worst to best, and stick around for the end and we'll let you know which country takes the top prize. Will it be France? Will it be Italy, Greece, or Spain? Kicking off the list at number 15, Toulon, France. Now, Toulon is a naval base on the French Riviera, and many cruisers call it a why bother stop. The port itself lacks the glamour of nearby Nice or Cannes. One traveler on Cruise Critic put it bluntly, Toulon is where I learned that not every French port is worth getting off the ship. If you do go ashore, the Old Town has some charm, and excursions into Provence are lovely, but our verdict is that Toulon is only worth a visit if you're taking a tour out of town. Number 14 is Taranto, Italy. It's an up-and-coming cruise port in southern Italy. More and more cruise ships are starting to stop there. One cruiser said, "We wandered around for an hour and we're back on the ship before lunch." The highlight here is visiting the National Archaeological Museum for Greek and Roman artifacts. Our verdict on this is that Taranto is skippable unless you are a serious history buff. Number 13 on our list is Civitavecchia, Italy. Now, if that sounds familiar, it should if you've taken a cruise out of Rome, because this is the cruise port for Rome, but it's 50 miles away from the Eternal City. The port itself is mostly industrial. Cruisers rarely spend more than a few minutes here. It's all about that long transfer to Rome. A reviewer on TripAdvisor said, "If you don't go to Rome, you're just staring at concrete and containers." I do think that's a little bit harsh. Civitavecchia does have its charm, some pretty good food there, and there are some cute streets in the Old Town. But the highlight, of course, is Rome itself, with the Colosseum, the Vatican, Trevi Fountain, all within reach. So you should probably skip the port and see the big city. Number 12 is Livorno, Italy. Another Italian industrial stop. Livorno doesn't impress on its own, but it can be your launch pad for Florence, Pisa, and the Tuscan countryside. Now, Florence alone can be pretty spectacular, but you do need to be prepared for a long bus ride, seriously. The highlight is taking that iconic or cheesy photo, however you land, in front of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The verdict is that you should definitely not stay in Livorno, but use it as a jumping off point. Number 11 on our list, La Spezia, Italy. Like Livorno, La Spezia isn't exactly memorable, but it is a gateway to the Cinque Terre, colorful villages clinging to the coast. One cruiser wrote, "La Spezia was a bore, but our train to Cinque Terre was actually the best day of the cruise." The highlight here is taking the boat or train to one of the small towns around the Italian Riviera. Our verdict for La Spezia is if you get out of town quickly, you're going to be rewarded by some of the most beautiful sights of your cruise. Heading into the top 10 now with Messina, Sicily. Messina is close to Mount Etna and Taormina, which can be incredible excursions, but the port city itself, it's mostly skippable. Many people simply call it a meeting point, not a destination. The highlight is a day trip to Taormina with stunning views and its ancient Greek theater. Our verdict is that Messina is good if you take a trip out of town. The city itself is not going to wow you. Number 9 is Genoa, Italy. Genoa has character, narrow alleyways, the aquarium, and rich maritime history, but it's also busy and gritty, and it's often overshadowed by nearby Portofino or the Cinque Terre. The highlight is visiting the palaces of Via Garibaldi. Genoa is a decent stop, but most cruisers prefer heading somewhere else nearby. Number 8 is Marseille, France. Marseille is France's largest Mediterranean port. It is diverse, it is lively, and maybe a little bit rough around the edges. Some cruisers find it chaotic. Personally, I enjoyed the energy a lot. The highlight is seeing the old port and climbing up the Basilica of Notre Dame de la Garda for incredible views. The verdict is that Marseille is worth seeing if you don't mind a little bit of grit. Number 7 now is Naples, Italy. Naples is a divisive stop for many people. Some travelers find it dirty and gritty and overwhelming. I found all of those things, but the city is the gateway to the best excursions in Europe. We're talking Pompeii, we're talking Capri, and of course the Amalfi Coast. One cruiser put it this way, Naples itself, I could skip, but the excursions, unforgettable. And I 100% agree with that. The highlight for us was walking the ruins of Pompeii, just so interesting and really kind of haunting, and less than an hour from Naples. Just know your Naples port stop is mostly about what's around it, not about the city itself. Number 6 on our list, Palma de Mallorca, Spain. Palma has a beautiful seafront, a massive Gothic cathedral, and easy beach access. It's relaxing and charming, maybe not quite as iconic as some of the other more popular Spanish ports. The highlight is visiting the cathedral with its gorgeous stained glass windows, and we absolutely enjoyed a visit to Vallehermosa, which is a charming mountain town that's really not that far from Palma, maybe a 20 to 30 minute drive. So bottom line for us is that Palma is a worthwhile stop with a sunny, relaxed vibe. We're heading into the top 5 now with some amazing bucket list destinations on the way. So if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up to let us know that you'd like to see us make more like this. Number 5 now is Valencia, Spain. Valencia is known for its stunning City of Arts and Sciences complex, lovely parks, and delicious paella. Many cruisers call it an underrated gem. The highlight is experiencing the futuristic architecture and trying authentic paella in its birthplace. Valencia is not as crowded as Barcelona and can be really enjoyable. Number 4 now, Dubrovnik, Croatia. The walled city of Dubrovnik is pure magic. Cobblestone lanes, red tiled rooftops, and azure seas make it feel straight out of a storybook or straight out of a TV show. You know, parts of Game of Thrones were filmed there, and you'll recognize that when you see it. It can get crowded on big cruise days, but most visitors agree it is absolutely worth it. The highlight is walking the city walls for unbelievable views. Dubrovnik is truly a bucket list destination. Heading into the top 3 now with Mykonos, Greece. Now, Mykonos is all about whitewashed buildings, windmills, and beaches. Yes, it's touristy, but still has a magical Greek island vibe. Evening sailaways here are absolutely stunning. The highlight is strolling through Little Venice and seeing the famous windmills at sunset. Our verdict is that Mykonos is a can't-miss island stop. We stay in Greece for number 2, Santorini. Santorini is the most photographed stop in the Mediterranean by far, and absolutely for good reason. The caldera views and blue dome churches are iconic. The downside is overcrowding. You've probably heard about this, and you've also heard that you need to tender at port. That means you have to take a boat from your cruise ship to Santorini. One cruiser noted, quote, "It was the most beautiful and the most frustrating stop all at once." Now, they have started putting daily limits on cruise visitors, and Santorini has gotten a little less crowded. The highlight is visiting at sunset. Trust me, it is an unforgettable sight. Despite the crowd, Santorini is an absolute must-see and would be number 1 if it wasn't for, drumroll please, Barcelona, Spain. Our winner, Barcelona, is the undisputed star of the Mediterranean. Many cruises start or end here, and it's one of the easier Mediterranean ports to get in and out of because it's not far from the city center, but it's also a city worth days on its own. We once spent an entire week in Barcelona and could have stayed even longer. From Gaudi's Sagrada Familia to tapas and nightlife, it offers everything. Cruisers consistently call it the best port in the region. The highlight is visiting the Sagrada Familia, a masterpiece that is still under construction after more than 100 years. But make sure you book your tickets for Sagrada Familia the same time you book your cruise, or you might just miss out. It's that popular. Our verdict is that Barcelona is the ultimate must-see Mediterranean port. If Barcelona is on your itinerary, make sure you check out this video we put together, let you know what you can see and what you can skip if it's a short port stop. And if you're starting your cruise in Barcelona, we've also put together a video to help you get to your ship. I'm Patrick, your Port Authority.